Hello everyone, my name is Yaolog Munim. I'm a professor of shipping and logistics in Norway. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what is economics and also what is maritime economics. So I will bring the concept to a maritime context to explore in detail. So to start with, we are going to talk about what a diamond paradox from the book from Adam Smith in the 1600 Wealth of Nations. Okay. So the question you can think about in your mind is, so why is water so cheap and diamond is so expensive, even though we can live very fine without diamond, but we cannot live without water, right? So then the answer is, okay, water, we have abundant supply. For diamond, we have limited supply. So supply is an important factor when it comes to the prices of it, right? So it also relates with the demand. If the supply is much more than the demand, the price goes up, right? So from economic point of view, we can actually just think of three terms here. Okay, so we think of production, consumption, and transaction, right? So production, consumption, and transaction. So you have a demand for products and services, and then someone is supplying it, and then you pay a price. So these are the three things we see whenever we are looking into any supply demand equilibrium curves in economic sense, right? So that's what we are always seeing. So here, for example, we see this one of the curves, right? So here we see a supply demand equilibrium in general context. Normally we start with the concept of quantity. So quantity demanded or supplied and the price per unit of it. Okay. So the basic assumption is that when the price is low, people would like to supply less. Okay. So price is $20. We would like to have less supply, but we would like to have more demand. People want to buy more. So the consumers want to buy more, but then the suppliers want to supply less. When the price is high, the idea is suppliers want to supply less. Uh, Suppliers want to supply more now in the supply curve. Okay. But the demand will go down on the demand curve, right? So price is high, so people don't want to buy the things, products or services, but the suppliers want to supply more because they will be able to now make more money. And in general, we reach an equilibrium where the supply and demand meets in theory, but in practice, it's very hard to really reach an equilibrium in any point in time. That's because most of the time information comes with lag. What is the demand for something at this moment? Lag or delay, whatever we call it, right? Information about supply for something or demand for something at any real point in time is very hard to find. It normally comes with delays. We get this demand information, supply information after a month or two published by these large reports and organizations with databases and so on, right? So this is one of the main reasons. And sometimes also, the other thing you have to consider is also, even if you can figure out the demand, it takes times to produce things, right? So in shipping also, we know that if we order a ship now, it takes 2-3 years for the ship to come in the market. So that's why it's really hard to match the supply and demand in real time. One thing I normally have in mind is demand curve is always downward and supply curve is always upward. Okay, so that demand and downward, that helped me to understand to remember the demand curve is always the one that is going down from the top. Okay. Now let's bring these concepts from this general situation to shipping context. Okay, so let's say we now think about a route between Australia and China transporting iron ore. Okay, so in this route, normally we will then have some supply of vessels and some demand for vessels. And the demand and supply normally in shipping, we often think about in deadweight tonnage context. Okay. So now let's try to draw the figures here. So I'm going to clean all these things. Okay. So I'm going to clean all these things. Now let's try to draw this figure here. Okay. So first, we are, while drawing these figures, we are also going to look into two different things. So one is we are going to look into the demand shift. And another thing we are going to look into the supply shift. Okay. Or let's say if I write here, supply shift. Okay. So let's first start with the demand scenario. So first of all, I'm going to draw a figure where we have the basic scenario. So as I said, for shipping, we will have the quantity of shipping, so demand or supply in shipping in deadweight tonnage, DWT, okay? And then we can say the price is, US dollar, USD per ton, per deadweight tonnage or per ton, okay? And this is our starting point 0. So now we have our supply curve. This is the demand curve. So the downward is the demand curve. We call it, let's say, D1. And then here we have our supply curve, which is upward. We call it S1. Okay. And this is our equilibrium price. Let's say the top here is 50. In between here, we have, let's say, 25 or something like that. Okay. Now, let's think about a situation when demand dropped significantly. In the beginning of the COVID time, like mid 2020, okay, mid 2020 to early 2021, the demand for shipping dropped significantly, right? So what happens to the demand curve then? When the demand drops significantly, it moves to the left, right? So it moves to the left. I call it D2. So let's say if our supply in the market is the same, then our demand drops significantly. So you see the price goes down, right? So from the equilibrium normal level, the price will go down. So that's what we saw in the shipping market. There was in the beginning of COVID-19, when the demand dropped, everything was locked down and so on. Then the price for freight rates and everything went down significantly, right? Now then, in a later situation with COVID again, in a later situation actually, end of 2021 and early 2022, the demand for shipping went down significantly. Okay. So went up significantly. Demand for shipping went up significantly. So now the demand curve moves to the right side. Okay. And here you see, if our supply was the same, our prices will go up significantly up, right? That's what we saw in shipping market. Compared to the supply, the demand was so much higher, the prices went up significantly, right? So this is how we can actually think about the shift in demand curve, okay? So the shift in demand curve. Demand, M-A-N-D, yeah. Now, let's come back and think about the supply curve shift once again. So we look into the demand curve, now we look into the supply curve. We again put deadweight tonnage, we again put here USD per ton, and here we have the 0. Here we have our normal situation, the downward demand curve D1, and the upward supply curve, we call it S1. Again, I changed the colors here a bit. So now in the beginning of COVID, like the demand went down significantly, right? But then at that time, also the supply also went down. So just after demand went down, the freight rates went down significantly. People started to put their ships in layover. Also, the shipping companies they were putting the old vessels for scrapping. So the supply from the market was going down as well. So when the supply goes down, for now, let's assume that demand stays the same. So what happens here? The supply curve moves to the left. Now we call it S2. So if demand was remaining the same and supply was going down, our price will go up, as you can see. From this point, it will go up, right? But then it depends on which one fell faster or grew faster. So, but we are now, for now, in this figure, assuming demand stays the same, supply goes down. Okay, so price uh, price goes up. If demand stays the same, supply goes down, price goes up, right? So this was the initial situation just after like this 2020, yeah, after the COVID hit. But then later, there was this really big boom in the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. The freight rates went up significantly. The demand was so higher. Then what happens in the shipping market? Then the ships increase their speed. So when they have higher speed, they can make more trips. The supply increases. Also, very old vessels are put back into the market. Because the freight rates are so high, still you can reach the break even from the old vessels, right? And meanwhile you have been maybe ordering also new ships. Some of the ships you are getting back in the process and so on. So then the supply eventually will also go up. And when the supply goes up, the supply curve moves to the right. And then we call it S3. So if our demand was staying the same and supply was going up, then the price will normally go down from the base level, from the base equilibrium level. Demand stays the same, supply goes up, price will fall, right? So that's what we also saw in after the COVID, like end of 2022 or beginning of 2023, we saw the freight rate started to go down, right? So this is how we can think about the supply in demand and supply curves in shipping and how they went up and down. But now the question is, what if both of them goes in the same direction or in opposite direction at the same time? So I'm going to show you what happens if both of them goes in the same direction, but you have to, I believe you can draw what happens if they go in different direction, okay? So here we have our baselines, we have the demand one, and we have the supply curve S1. Here is our base equilibrium situation, right? Now let's say if we focus more into the early parts of the COVID scenario. So first, the demand went down, so demand curve moves to the left. We call it D2. Let's say the supply also went down in the same magnitude during the same period of time. So normally, then the supply curve will also move to the left. And then what happens? You see the equilibrium stays the same. If demand and supply move to the same direction in the same magnitude, it will stay the same, the equilibrium price. But of course, it's never going to be moving to the same direction in the same magnitude. The magnitude will differ. So because of that, we always have fluctuating price in the shipping markets, right? So that's how we can actually understand the concepts of supply, demand, and price in shipping economics context, in maritime economics context. I hope you find this useful. Feel free to share with your friends and colleagues who are also learning about the same concepts. Good luck with your future studies and research.